Hello everyone, welcome in SC300 Microsoft Identity and Access Administrator Training Days. Today is day 5 and this is exam prep day. Today we'll discuss about what kind of guidelines we have in exam preparation, what kind of resources we have that we can use to prepare for exam. So agenda is very simple. We'll talk about what kind of guidelines we have in exam prep and we will discuss about some kind of sample questions what where you can get it and how you can test your knowledge. So let's start with this one. Now, in our last 4-day session, we completed SC300 topics, and that was related to managing intra ID, managing different kind of authentication options, what comes in entitlement management, and many other important topics. Definitely, you are already working with hands-on lab activities, and you have SC300 MS Learn link where you can learn about more different kind of topics if you are preparing for exam. So here let's see what we have in exam prep session. The agenda is very simple. We'll talk about certification process overview. Then we move to prepare for an exam. Then we'll discuss about what kind of skills are measured and skill outline. These are different kind of agenda that we'll cover one by one. So let's start with the first one, certification overview. So here, when we talk about certification, we go for different kind of training, we attend different Microsoft trainings, and it's important if you are spending time, you are putting your efforts, getting certified in that technology, it would be always beneficial. Because when you prepare any technology, when you learn about any technology, if you get certified, this will be added in your profile and that you can present, you can show to your company, to your different kind of circle where you are working. And a certificate is definitely presenting that you are knowing that technology, you have cleared the online exam. It means you are equipped with that kind of technical understanding related to the technology. So definitely you can, plan for certification. And we, before going for certification, we see different kind of, questions comes in mind. So the certification process, we talk about many different things. Why to get certified, getting started with Microsoft certification, prepare for your exam, certification exams, register for Microsoft certification exam, getting your exam results and certifications, and renewing your certification. There are many different kind of things that we see here. So why this is important to get certified? Certification gives you professional advantage because you are going to get a global certificate. You can present this certificate to any place in any company. Generally, if we talk about some data, so these are Pearson VUE data where it says 91% of certified IT professionals say certification has given them increased confidence to do their jobs. 74% of certified IT professionals say they have greater work autonomy and independence. And 94% of decision makers worldwide say that certified team numbers provide added value. Definitely, this kind of figures are a bit old, but still, this is meaningful. So if you get certified, you will have more confidence, you'll have better better, you can say, salary increase. And definitely this is going to help you in performing your day-to-day job, day-to-day activities. And this will help you in your decision making kind of, you can say, activities and processes. So getting certified is always beneficial. So if in this program you have option for getting certified, definitely use that option. And if in case this program is not including any kind of certification related process, so definitely you can still plan for this. I'll show you how you can book your exam. Some more data. So why to get certified? Definitely 86% of candidates plan to pursue additional certifications. Demand is growing, demand is growing to different level. Lots of technologies we are seeing in market. We get we should get certified in that. We should be seeing where my company is exploring the options. For example, your company is exploring options in cloud technology. Definitely, if you are responsible for that kind of project or workloads, you should get certified in that. So 91% of candidate experienced increased confidence, greater job satisfaction, 76% felt, 28% earned a pay increase. Definitely, more certifications, more knowledge, more, you can say, more certifications. This is definitely going to, put you out of the crowd. You will be having some extra advantage. And for that, company will be considering, okay, this is the person who has completed certification, and this person is also pursuing the knowledge. So let's go with this guy. So getting certified is always helpful. Now, there are many different kind of certifications available from Microsoft. Many certifications we have. These certifications are related to development, administration, data scientist, data engineer, solution architect, Microsoft 365, and many others. So what we have in current certification list, you can see it here. So for example, if I show you this, just a second. Microsoft exam certification poster. So here we can say, I believe you can find it another way as well. Let me go for SC300 exam. Here it is. So here in the last, we have the certification poster. This certification poster is managed by Microsoft. They are managing it. And if there's any change in certification, if something is introduced, something is removed, they are taking care of all these here. So you can see this is the current list of certification what we have under infrastructure, in data and AI, digital app and innovation, modern work, business applications, and security. And we have categories. If you're starting with fundamentals, we have these fundamental certifications. If you are going for role-based, we have these different certifications are here. And if you are going to be, if you are willing to be sliced in some specific workload and technology, you have these certifications. So you have to plan accordingly, like which one is good for you, where you are seeing your future growth, you can accordingly plan for these certifications. Now, this poster is very helpful because this is not only for these informations, but these all tiles, what you see, these are interactive tiles. It means, for example, you are here in SC300 here. If you simply click on this tile, this will open SC300 exam page. And this will give you information about, at least you'll see what kind of online learning resource we have here, exam related information, and many other details. Now, coming back to this, now if you want to explore some more, for example, you say, okay, I want to explore to SC100, or I want to go for SC200, I want to go for SC41. So in this case, simply click on this, and you see the page dedicated to that technology. And you can see these are the online learning resources related to the tile, what you're clicking. So this certification poster is the current, updated, and Microsoft is taking care of all these. So in case, maybe after 1 month, after 2 months, if these two certifications are getting expired, so these two will be deleted from here. And Microsoft will take care of all these. So this is a very good place to keep yourself updated about what different kind of certification we have available in Microsoft. Now, so here we have the current list, or you can also go to this place here. You can open Microsoft Learn. And now here, you can look into what different kind of products we have, career path, where you want to explore your interest, and you can browse all trainings. So, for example, if I am maybe seeing my interest towards maybe security engineer, so I can see what different kind of informations we have for that, what different kind of learning path we have. So you can say it's recommending you can go for AZ500 for security engineer. You can also go for browse the official plan for security engineers. And yeah, you can see information about that. Start a plan, go through milestones, achieve learning outcomes. So Microsoft Learning page is very well designed. This gives you very streamlined, very, you can say, logically arranged information. So you can start with a plan here. So definitely you have to sign in here first, then you can go for exploring these options. So you can plan for these different kind of certifications, and you can explore what kind of profile you are holding right now and where you want to explore. Now, if you go to any exam, you can see here the exam information. So if I go to SC300 exam page, I can see information about this exam. there are lots of information. What is the certification name? What is the level of this exam? Intermediate. Product, this comes under Azure. Role is security engineer. Subject is security. Renewal frequency is very important to see here. This certification should be renewed after every 12 months. So first time you will be appearing in Pearson VUE Center, you have to pay for that, or you can appear an exam from your home or office location if you want. But once you're certified, after every 12 months, before expiring the certification, you have to complete one online assessment here. In online assessment, Microsoft will ask a kind of 50 questions online here, and there you don't need to pay. It's just online, and you will be renewing your certification every year. Also, you can see when this exam information was last updated. And now here we have different sections: prepare for the exam, practice for the exam, take the exam, and renew your certification. You have show more certification resources. So these are different kind of sections that we can read, we can understand how this exam is designed. You can see the overview about this exam, what we have here, and then you can see how you are going to prepare for this exam. Do we have online resources? Answer is yes. These online resources are Microsoft own documentation. You can explore these topics and you can prepare for these. Now, apart from this, you can see some more informations that if you want to practice for this exam, we have a practice assessment set where we have around 50 questions that we can use for this kind of exam preparation. I'll show you this, how this looks like, what kind of questions we have there. But in case, if you are appearing in Microsoft exam very first time, you have to experience the sandbox environment. This sandbox is something is presenting exact look and feel what you see in Pearson VUE Center, or if you are going to appear in exam online from your office or home location. So I'll also show you how this sandbox looks like. We have video option. We have exam videos almost for every kind of certification. These are summary videos. Microsoft has already created this one, and you can use this to summarize everything in 3 to 4 videos within around 1 and 2 hours before going for the exam for a very clear visibility. Now here in exam, you will get 100 minutes to complete the assessment. The exam will be for 100 minutes, and around half an hour will be used for the registration. If you are appearing for the first time, or if you are going to attend the exam from office or home location, so you have to spend around 30 minutes in registration process. So you have to plan accordingly. Now, exam policy is something like this exam will be proctored. Generally, Microsoft gives you two options. Your proctor will be there and he will be watching you through your camera, what you are going to enable. And you can speak to these proctor in two different languages, in English and Japanese. So these are two options only there. And also this depends on in which region you are going to book the exam. So here, this will be proctored. A person will be sitting there to monitor your activity during the exam. If you fail the certification exam, maybe, so you can retake it 24 hours after first attempt. So definitely we have like within 24 hours, no, you can't do this. But after 24 hours, you can again retake the exam reattempt, but you have to pay. Now here in some exams, we have a retake policy, or you can say a second shot policy, where if you are going to fail in exam first time, you get another attempt without any cost and you can retry. But this is not available in every exam. You have to look into that where this is available, in which exam this is available, and you can use that. So here we have these informations, and these are the important points that will be assessed, or you can say you will get questions under these topics. Now, the exam is offered in different languages: English, German, Spanish, French, Italian, Japanese, Korean, and many other languages. So it depends in which location you are. Accordingly, this exam will be available in that language, and also the proctor will speak that language. So you can see the costing here. If you are going to book exam in US, you'd pay for 165 US dollar. If you're going to book this exam in the United States, sorry, in UK, you have to pay around 106 GBP. And maybe if you're going to book this exam in, example, any other location, maybe Canada, you have to pay 140 USD. So this is a kind of price that you have to pay, but this is excluding the taxes. If you are going to book the exam, in final billing page, you will see some taxes would be there, depending on what kind of VAT system you have or any kind of GST system you have, depends. So how to schedule exam, I'll talk about this one as well, what kind of important consideration we should follow while booking the exam. You can also renew certification. Keep in mind that every certification will have either a valid for lifetime, or it would be having a kind of a renewal cycle after every 12 months. Now, so here we have study guide. Study guide is something where you can see how Microsoft is going to ask questions from different kind of points and topics. So if you click on this, you can see here, this is related to SC300 exam study guide, and we have many other study guides here as well for exam, Microsoft exams here. So if you see, if you explore this, you have some useful links, how to earn certification, certification renewal, and many other informations you can find. Now this will give you information about if we have any update in this exam. Now, what kind of skill will be measured? And this is updated on July 25th, 2025. So in skill at glance, there are 4 main topics: implement and manage user identities, implement authentication and access management, plan and implement workload identities, and plan and automate identity governance. These are 4 main topics. Under these, we have other different kind of subtopics. So we have to have a very clear idea here that under the first topic, that is giving you weightage around 20-25%, you will get questions from these different kind of points, these different kind of topics. Configure and manage a Microsoft infra tenant. These topics Microsoft can use to create exam questions. Also, you have many other topics in this: create, configure, and manage Microsoft infra identities, implement and manage identities for external users and tenants, implement and manage hybrid identity. And you can see this is something that we have similar kind of things available for all these. So you can see all these here, and you can plan your exam preparation in more efficient way. because now you have the information about the topics. You can focus more on it, and you'll have more streamlined preparation for this exam. So once again, to access this, you can go to SC300 exam page, and in the very last, you see this study guide. You can also get the certification poster to see current available certification. We have exam replays. Exam replays are where you can get a second chance to, maybe if you want to, appear in exam again if you see a failed result in the first attempt. Also, we have some kind of links, support for credentials, choose your Microsoft credential, and these different kind of other links we have in this. So this exam page is very well designed to provide you all the information related to the certification or related to this SC300. Now, so coming back to this is some information here that you have. So what different types of questions are there in exam? There are different types of questions you see there in exam. Questions would be related to, you can say, there would be single choice questions, multiple choice question, matchmaking, drag and drop. Maybe you will have some images or exhibits. Based on that, you have to answer. And you will have case study. A case study that will be presenting a case, a scenario related to a company, and they will have business requirement, technical challenges, and basis on that, you'll have some 4 to 5 questions for each case study. Minimum 1 and maximum, generally you see 2 to 3 case studies in an exam. So in total, you will have around 50 to 55 questions in real exam. So to experience these kind of questions, what kind of questions you can see there, we have a sandbox environment. In sandbox, you see what different kind of questions you can find there, and you can feel when you go for the real exam in Pearson View Center, or if you're going to appear from home or office location, how this looks like. So let me show you how this exam sandbox looks like. So again, to experience sandbox, you can come to SC300 page, exam page, and scroll down, and you have this sandbox environment here. You can click on launch the sandbox. It's loading, and we have to wait for this. So in exam center, or if you are going to appear in exam from your office or home location using your device, this kind of interface you see after the registration. You have to accept this agreement. You can change the color scheme if you want, like dark or maybe high contrast, depending on the need. And you have to accept the agreement. Let's wait for this. It may be possible you're not going to see anything on a screen. And actually, there will be timer there. This timer will start working automatically, or it will be stopped if the screen is not loading anything. Okay, so you can see it says 8 hours of not 8 hours, but you will have the timing here like 100 minutes. It's a kind of dummy sandbox. That's why we have 8 hours. It says we have 11 questions here, 16 total exam questions. We have case study 3 questions we have there. We have 1 lab here. In some exams, we see a simulated lab where Microsoft will ask you to perform some activities. You perform the activity, and then after they will check if you have configured or if you have performed the activity properly there or not. For passing a score out of 1000, you have to score 700. And this is by default for every exam. So once you're good here, click on next. And now you can read about all these informations and click next. So this is a real exam look and feel, how you see exam, window in real exam day. So you can see these informations are there. Start the exam. Now it's just presenting this kind of sandbox environment. So we'll go for click next. And you get the actual question, the first question here. In your real exam, this timing depends on what kind of timing is designed for the exam. For SC300, it will be 100 minutes. Now here, you'll see that we have 10, 11 questions. 11 questions here we have. Then we get review time. We can review our questions if we want. Then we have case study. One case study we have here. And we have 3 questions on this. Again, we get review time. And then we have a lab simulation to perform the activities. There are 2 activities here. So right now, you can see this is a kind of single choice question. And these questions are not technical. These are just to give you experience how this looks like. So this is simply this is asking question, what is your favorite sound? Maybe bird, okay? If you select another one, you can see it's a single choice. You can only select one option at a time. Now, in case, if you say that you are not very confident on this answer, so you can mark this question as review later. So you can come back to this question again if you have some time remaining, and you can change your answer. So I'm happy with this. Review later is there. Or if you say this exam question is have some challenges, or this exam question is not good, so you can leave feedback as well. You can check mark here, and in the last you get time for leaving the feedback for the questions. It's up to you. You can use these options. Now, go for the next. Now here you see a multiple choice question. In multiple choice question, mostly Microsoft will clearly mention that please select 2 answer, 3 answer, 4 answers. And in this sample question, they ask which 2 fruit make a great snack. So I can select banana and maybe apple. These are 2 good fruits for me. In technical questions, this will be technical options. And Microsoft will simply ask, please select 2, 3, 2 or 3, or maybe please select 2 options here, which all are correct. So I'm happy with this. I'll go for next. Now this is drag and drop. Now this kind of questions you see in technical, and this will be answer area where you have to drag these kind of options here with the correct combination. So this is something like dragging and dropping here, drag and dropping here, dropping here, dropping here, dropping here, dropping here, and dropping here. So based on the question, you will drag and drop the right option in combination. And definitely it's not mandatory to review every questions. Mark this as review. You have to mark the question for review only when you are not very confident and you want to check it later. So I'm happy with this. I'll go for next. And this is something where you have to drag and drop in proper order. Here, order is very important. So the question is, which 5 tasks should you do in the correct order to create a ham sandwich? Maybe this is something, a very simple question, but in technical questions in SC300, you will have technical questions and details. So maybe they can ask question in SC300, which 5 tasks you will perform in proper order to enable conditional access along with session control. So you have to go for the options in a proper order. So I can select 5 from here. And now I can arrange them if I want to change the order. Like I want to put it here. I want to put it on this one. In this way, I can arrange the order. Now, this is another type of question where you drag and drop and then arrange the order. The next, you can see sometimes your question is not loading properly, but your timer is off, is stopped. So when you have a question loaded, then only timer will start running again. So this kind of experience you see there in real exam as well sometimes. Now this question is something related to a kind of exhibit, a kind of image, and this image is interactive. So it's asking some technical question here and asking, please select option in answer area. So here I can use this combination. It's a kind of drag and it's kind of drop down menu here is highlighted, and then select which all options are correct here for this. So based on question, you will have option to click on the screen, click on the image and interact with that. You can see. So if you are happy with this, click next. Now you get another type of question here, that is, you can see here, this is related to this drop down. Based on the question here, you have to use the combination in this drop down. Maybe this is correct for this combination and this is correct for this one. This is a kind of another type of question what we see in exam. Now in next, you see this kind of exhibit question. Now here, based on what you are selecting, what kind of question you have, you can select here which one is correct. So right, I can see if I selecting multiple options, this only selecting at only one at a time. So the question will also itself explain that you have to select one option, two options, or three options. If it's not mentioning anything here, it means you have to select only one option here. And this will not let you to select multiples in this case. I'm happy with this. Go for next. Now here we have exhibit here. This is not clickable. This is not interactive. You just need to see the information here. And based on this information, you can go to this place and save. So select option which is correct based on this one here, and then go for next. Now we have another question where we have many exhibits. For this question, we have this image. You can read this information here, then this image, and then this image. Based on all these, you have to answer the question. Basically, this is the kind of question where we have to select yes or no in combination. So for this one, if I see based on the question and these kind of exhibits, if this is yes, and this one is no, depending on the what is correct, we select these kind of options here. Again, next, you can see you are moving towards more and more questions here. This says, when you move ahead, you will not be able to return to the previous questions. So not previous, but you'll not be able to return to any question. Like in previous 9 questions, definitely you have option for reviewing it. But here, no, you can't change. Why? Because these are yes or no questions. So click on next. This will ask question here and you have to select, yes or no here. If this meets the goal, the solution is create an Azure function to run the image processing application every hour. That this solution meet the goal, yes or no. Depending on yes or no, you can select next. Yes or no? You can see here we have leave feedback, but we don't have option for the review later. So you can go back to this one. So click next, and now we have answered all the 11 questions here in this section. Here you can see I have marked one question here for review. So I can go back to this if I want. Simply, I can click on this. I'm in the review phase. And maybe I want to change my option here. And I can remove this checkbox. Next, we have this option. So you can review it if you want. And like, let me go for the previous. And yeah. So that's okay. I am happy with this. And you have to remove the checkbox. Generally, you will go to the review section directly. But I believe, yeah, okay, let me go for all the way. So you can change your answer if you want in review later. Yep, that's all here. And I'm happy with this. Now, once this is completed, I can click on finish section. So this section will be finished. Now I'm jumping to case study here. Now, case study is something where first we have to read a case. And this you can read it here. The overview first. Like Contoso Limited is a manufacturing company that has 3,000 users. Contoso has a data center in Toronto and 20 offices across Canada. The offices connect to each other by using a WAN link. Each office connects directly to the internet. It's a kind of the scenario. Then what existing environment we have in that? The Active Directory environment, System Center environment, what they have, then application environment, then problem statement, what kind of problem they are facing, what kind of requirements they have, the business goal, what they want to achieve, what plan changes they are planning, what technical requirements they have, these all technical requirements they're planning for, and what kind of application one requirement they have. Based on this case study, you have 3 questions here. You can go for first question. Now, while answering, you can go back to the any section anytime. It's not something that you have to read it once or read it only one time. No, you can go back to this case study whenever you want. And based on that, you can answer the question. Next, now I'll get another question here. And again, I can explore these case studies here again. And now this is a kind of drag and drop. So you have to, based on the question, you have to, drag this and drop to the right combination, depending on what they're asking in the question. Next. Now here they're asking again. So it's asking select 2 requirements. You can see it means this is a kind of MCQ. Again, I can read the case and accordingly I can select 2 options here. Which 2 requirements are needed for each switch? It seems like in this they are not allowing me to select both, like 2 different kind of options. But yeah, in case if there's any kind of question where this mentioning the select 2, select 3, so you'll be able to select these options. Let me go for only one right now. Now you get the review tab. Right now, I have not marked anything for review, so this is good for me. I can go ahead in this section. Yes, sure. Now you get, if in your exam, we have some, you can say lab simulation. So you get this lab simulation here. So click next. And we are moving towards a lab simulation. Here you will have a virtual machine, and Microsoft will ask you to complete some activities here based on this scenario. You have to complete task 1 and then task 2. Once you complete that in this virtual machine environment, you will simply mark this as complete and also mark this as complete. Microsoft backend engine will check if you have properly completed the activity in the lab simulation or not. Mostly, Microsoft is not concerned about the process, but they are concerned about the outcome. So for example, if Microsoft says, okay, please create a policy. Now you will create policy using graphical console or PowerShell, it's up to you. But policy should be there. But in some questions, some tasks, they ask you, please create a policy using graphical console. Then only they will monitor the process. So these are the things that we have to keep in mind, that we have this kind of exam questions, what we see in any exam. But for labs, for simulation labs, I would say the simulation labs are not mandatory for each and every exam, but these are generally available when you are appearing in high-end exams like SC300, SC100, not in SC100, but SC401, SC200, or AZ500. So these kind of advanced exams in security, they will have some questions or tasks related to the lab simulation. Now, once this is completed, if you click on next, you say, are you sure to submit the exam? I will say yes. And definitely, when you go for clicking on next, you can provide feedback about exam questions if you want. And then you can click on, you can comment on this, or simply you can click on exit. Once you exit, you see your result, if you have passed the exam or not. This will check, this will calculate the score in the back end and gives you information. So this will be calculating if you are going to score 700 out of 1000, you'll be passed. And if you are scoring 699, that score is a fail score. So we have to be very careful while answering and selecting the answer, selecting the options after reading the questions. But here we have a benefit. The benefit is we don't have any negative marking. If you select any wrong answer in any question, we don't have any negative marking for that. So you can, I suggest, please, please answer all the questions, even you don't know the answer for some questions, because there's no negative marking. Even, for example, if there's any question where you have to select 3 options, and by chance you are selecting only 2 options correct, so you will get marks for 2 correct option. So partial marking is also there. So for all partial right selections, you will get the answer, get the marks. Now in the last, you see this kind of scorecard that where you are performing very well. And definitely you can download these from your Pearson VUE account. You can get all these informations and you can see your skills there as well, your badges as well there. So this sandbox is very good to experience how and what kind of look and feel we have in exam currently in Microsoft. So these are different types of questions: single choice question, multiple choice questions, drag and drop and arranging the order. You have drop down menu options, you have case studies, you have simulated lab environment. These are different things what we see in exam types, exam question types here. So you can see this kind of question we have. This is a kind of yes or no and selecting a drop down answer here. A case study is something like this, where you have background, existing environment, business requirements, technical requirements. And you can see this kind of time domain, you'll have 1 hour, 56 minutes, something like that. So it depends. What is the exam timing is there related to exam? Accordingly, this will be presenting in hours, minutes, and seconds. What is remaining for you? But this is a kind of old view where we were seeing calculator, color scheme, reset. Now we have new look and feel that we are seeing in exam sandbox. Now here, how we book any exam, let's talk about. Booking an exam is very important because there you will create your certification profile, you add informations, and then you book your exam. So for example, if I go back to this here, and if I go for exam page, so here, first of all, you need to log in here with your MS Learn account, or if you're going to log in here very first time, you can use any email ID, that is outlook.com, live.com, hotmail.com. You can use here to sign in with MS Learn. Okay, let me sign in with my account here. Or even if you go for exam section and schedule exam, this will ask you to log in first. Okay, let me log in here with my account, or maybe let me try with this account here. So it says we strongly recommend to use your personal account, not this kind of organization accounts. Okay, so let me sign with a different one. So I wanted to show you that these kind of corporate accounts are not eligible for this kind of exam profile. Let me log in with this one here. Seems like either my password is expired or not working well. Okay, let me try with this one. Working good. Now this will ask information. This will ask different kind of, address information, country, and all that. And then you can go for submitting this information. So please enter your address so that your exam delivery provider can validate your identity. Okay. All right. Okay, seems like this is, providing me information that is not accurate. Okay, so I'll do one thing. Let me present this page in a different browser. All right, so what I'll do here, I'll show you how to go for, let me check my profile first. All right, this looks good. Okay, no worries. Let me submit this here. Oh, okay. I've got all the informations. Okay, so for this information, I'm very much surprised why this is not picking up my information here. But yeah, let me go back. I'm not just going to add this information because I'm just looking for this kind of page. So this will give you your profile information, your job title, address, and all these informations. And then after, if you have any exam discount, like if you have any exam voucher or any kind of, you can say exam discounts, if you have, you can use it here in the next page. Also, like an exam discount, you can see this kind of, if you have any exam discount already there in your profile, you can see that, or you can also use your email ID. Suppose you have used your email ID to book or to attend this event, and your email ID is eligible for some discount, you can use this email ID here and to check the eligibility. And then you can go for the schedule exam option. When you go for schedule exam option, you see a page where this will ask you if you want to book an exam in your nearest Pearson VUE center, and there you want to appear in physical, or you want to book an exam where you want to appear in exam from your home or office location. Now, in COVID situation, Pearson VUE, Microsoft, they plan that they will move this, or they will provide this option to the exam, like people who are going to appear in exam, they can appear in exam from office locations or home location online. So next page, this will ask you where you want to appear. If you select Pearson VUE Center, the nearest one, this will present you the information about all the Pearson VUE Center, whatever is near to your location, and along with their available time. So you can select which time is convenient for you and when the slots are available. Because in every Pearson VUE Center, there will be some different number of seats, like 4, 5, or in some centers we have only one seat, something like that. So there are chances that you will have slots busy. So you can go for selecting different dates and you can select different time slots. But if you're appearing, if you're going to select here after this page that I want to book my exam and I want to appear from home or office location, in this case, this will give you a guideline that what you have to do on exam date. You have to log in before 30 minutes, and that will be for the exam registration activity. You have to present your ID proof. They will ask you to download one application in your smartphone and capture image of surroundings like your desk, the back and front, left and right, and the proctor will analyze if you are in a clean and a safe place and you're not using any kind of unnecessary electronic device that is near to you. Once proctor will be confirmed that this is safe, proctor will start the exam for you. Definitely, you should be sitting in a very comfortable and quiet place. Nobody should be disturbing you for next 2 hours, or there should not be any kind of loud music, loud sound, because if these kind of things proctor will see, in that case he may stop your exam. Also, if you are leaving your seat or if you are moving away, your exam will be blocked by proctor. So these kind of guidelines will be presented when you go for selecting the location from home or office. And yeah, you can book your exam. That is very convenient and this saves lots of time. So in this way, we book the exam. Definitely, I suggest before booking the exam, select in which country you are going to book the exam. Here, you see the currency, and when you go further, you will see the Pearson VUE Center and the proctor availability based on the location what you have selected. Yeah. Now for exam preparation, we have practice assessments. Microsoft gives you a question set of 50 questions in practice assessment, but that questions are only single choice and MCQ. They're not providing you drag and drop or matchmaking or case studies in this practice assessment. So you have to prepare for other question types as well. But in practice assessment, what you see here in this, they provide you only MCQ or single choice question that you can use to test your knowledge and understanding. I'll talk about this in last, and I'll show you what different kind of questions we see there. Now, in next, so you get your exam certification. It's a kind of old dashboard. And right now, you go to this kind of MS Learn page. You log in there, and you see your profile tab here. In profile tab, you can see your all certifications listed in credentials tab. Let's wait for this. And click on certifications to say. You can see I have my certification is due for a renewal on January 3rd. And I have many different certifications here in my this list. So this is something that this kind of certification dashboard you see, and you can add, you can see what like generally what happens if you clear the exam, like if you're clearing SC 300, this SC 300 information will be added here within 24 hours of time, because you cleared the exam in Pearson VUE database. That database will be updating to Microsoft, and this will be added here within 24 hours. So these kind of different kind of, you can say, profile tabs you have. You can see what activity you have, credentials. And if you are learning through, if you're going to learn, if you're going to explore these options, every topic is, you can say, including a kind of XP system. You can say a scoring system. Like for example, if you go for this one here, and if you click on this one, you can see we have 700 XP score associated with this. If you complete that, you get this score. So this score will be added in your profile here, like this. And if you complete any section, and if you complete the assessment, you will get badges and trophies. So you can click on achievements here to see what different achievements you have. So what you're learning, what kind of achievements you have, you can see that all here. So this is related to your MS Learn learning activity. And certification will provide you, credential tab will provide you the real exam certification information here, what certification you have completed. So these are the informations that what we see in profile tab, and this is something a bit old. And now we have a new look and feel for this exam dashboard. Definitely, we have to renew the certification, and certification renewal is very, you can say, important, because if you miss the date, suppose in my case, my certification renewal is due on 3rd of January next year. By chance, if I'm going to check the certification on 4th of January, so my exam certification will be expired. And I have to go for the complete process again, appearing in Pearson VUE Center or paying for the exam, where I can appear in from my home or office location. And then I have to collect that certification once again. So be sure that you are going to appear in these kind of renewal activities at least a week before, because in case if in first attempt you're not going to renew the certification, then you have to wait for 24 hours of time. then you can again try to renew it. So always go for these renewal activities at least 1 week or 2 weeks before. So you'll have enough time if you want to retry 2 to 3 times. So especially in renewing, there's no limit of retry because it's free. So you can retry 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. You can, renew it. It's a free renewal of activity. Now, what next? What other informations here we have? So to prepare for exam, we have different resources. So first of all, you have to keep in mind, if you're going to start for any kind of exam preparation, definitely you have to have a good understanding that what kind of skill you are preparing. Related to that, we have Microsoft Learn page where we have self-paced learning materials like this. If you are not, feeling confident, then you can go for instructor-led training as well. In instructor-led training, what do you say? If I go back to this once again, let me show you. So this is something that is a self-paced learning. Now, if you want to find any partner, Microsoft Learning partner who can deliver the training, you can go for this instructor-led training options, or you can directly search to Microsoft if you want to go for a kind of training that any kind of learning partner will deliver or any instructor will deliver by going to the trainer on this training options and search which training you are looking for. So this is again a kind of old look and feel. Microsoft is changing their website to a new design. That's why we have new look and feel here. Also, we should keep in mind, we should go for seeing the informations what Microsoft is presenting, the update information about the exam, if exam is expired, or you can say around 4 to 5 years back, Microsoft Press was presenting these kind of exam prep or references for different kind of exam preparation. So right now we have all these available in practice assessment. You can use that practice assessment and you can test your knowledge before appearing in the real exam. Now, so there are lots of informations. What will be the exam duration? Definitely this will be between 100 minutes to 2 hours, like 120 minutes. And for some exams, you will have 2.5 2 hour and 30 minutes time, depending on what kind of exam you are going, in which exam you're going to appear. But in general, you get around 120 minutes, 2 hours of time for almost every exam. So there are total duration. Exam duration would be like including 30 more minutes for exam registration. Seat duration would be the exact timing. Like for this timing, you will be sitting on the seat and you'll be answering the questions. There are many different kind of exam available based on different skill. So we have fundamental exams, associate level exams, and where we have like associate level exam where we don't have labs. In some exam, we have lab activities, simulations. We have MTA, Microsoft Technology Associate exam through academic channels. We have this kind of certification as well. We have Microsoft Office Specialist exams. So we have different types of exams that we can appear in and we can get certified for that. So we have to understand all these stuff before going for a real exam in any kind of technology that you're going to prepare. So you should have these understanding. Now this is something the sandbox look and feel. So you'll have different types of questions, case studies, drag and drop. You will have exhibits. You will have multiple choice questions. You will have you can say you'll have drop down menu options, and also labs. If you are going to appear in any kind of expert level of exam, generally you see simulated labs. So these are different kind of understanding in exam, and you can see like this. This is a kind of Microsoft website where you can see your score for exam you cleared status, and you can see your score report if you want. So I was, talking about if you complete exam, you see your scorecard that you can download from here if you want. So how Microsoft exams are scored? Microsoft score their questions is not, you can say, evenly, but some questions will have more weightage, some questions will have less weightage. Maybe one question is there that is presenting a score like 50, but there's another question that is presenting you a score like only 10. But actually, Microsoft is not presenting these scoring mechanism. You never see that what score is associated to any question. But yeah, they have a kind of, you can say, odd kind of design. But the good thing is we don't have any negative marking. So if you don't know any answer correctly, still you should try with that. Because for wrong answers, there will be no deductions in your actual score. So it's a good thing. Now, apart from this, what other considerations we have here? Let's see, let's talk about. So what different kind of skills are measured? We have already seen in study guide. There are these different skills are going to be measured. Implement and manage user identities 20 to 25%. Implement authentication and access management 25 to 30%. Plan and implement workload identities 20 to 25%. And plan and implement identity governance to 20 to 25%. Passing score is always 700 out of 1000. Exam name is SC300 Microsoft Identity and Access Administrator. Once you're certified, you get the certificate Microsoft Certified Identity and Access Administrator Associate. This is the certification name. So this is something very interesting here, that we have almost equal weightage in all these skills what they are going to measure in exam. Almost equal, we can say 25 to 30% or 20 to 25%. So we have to plan accordingly, and you can go for more in-depth or more subtopics information under study guide in SC300 exam page. Scroll down and click on this exam SC300 study guide. Now, so exam outline, we have already seen what is the timing, what kind of look and feel we have. You can test and try with this exam sandbox here, and you can plan the exam accordingly. Also, as we're talking about, you can go for watch videos. So you can click on this watch video. It's a kind of summary video. And here we have 4 videos in this. This is the first of that video, first of 4. So you can go for this. And I believe hardly this will have around half an hour in length. So yeah, you can say it's like 15 minutes summarizing everything. Okay. Then in the same way, we will have others like second of this 4, third, part 3 of 4, part 4 of 4. And this will summarize everything. These are Microsoft created video, and this is something going to highlight the main points, main topics, what we are going to say in exam. So you can use this one before the exam day or before the appearing real exam. So we completed These are different things like certification process overview, prepare for an exam, is skill measured, is skill outline. These all things we have covered. Now we are going to say what different kind of questions we have in this practice assessment. Let's see. I click on this. And if you logged in with your account here, you can see 50 questions here in this. And these are mainly objective. So you go for selecting answer here. You can test your knowledge. Now here, I'm going to run some questions here. And I'll ask you guys to read the question, keep your answer in, like guess your answer here. And I'll show you the answer in after every question. I'll give you some time, like 2 minutes, 3 minutes. You think about, and then we'll see what is the correct answer here. So let's try with some questions here. And then, yeah, we'll see if you are guessing the right answers or not. So for the question number 1, you need to configure a system assigned manage identity for a virtual machine named myVM. Which Azure CLI command should you run? Definitely, we can assign manage identity to virtual machines using graphical console, but we have a command line for this. Now, these kind of preparation we see if you go for SC300 exam, self-paced learning resources in MS Learn. So try to guess the answer. We have A, B, C, and I'll reveal which is the correct answer. Simply, I'll select any question here, any option here, and when I go for next or simply check my answer, I'll get the right answer here. Okay. So I'm going to give you 1 minute of time for this. Think about it and guess your answer. All right, so let's see what is the correct answer. I'm going to select randomly one of the option here, and then we check our answers. Okay, let me select this one and check your answer. So if you are, preparing your exam very well, definitely you'll be guessing the right answer. Explanation here why this answer is correct. So this is going to help you in more understanding. Okay, let's go for the next one. Now there's another question. You have to read the question here, and then you have to guess the right answer. I'll give you 2 minutes for this to read the question, guess the right answer, and then I'll reveal which one is the correct. All right, so let's see the right answer here. What we have. I'm going to select randomly this one here and then check your answer. And you can see what is the correct answer for this. So why other options are incorrect, you can see this logic as well here. So this exam practice questions are very helpful if you're preparing for SC 300. Let's go for next one. Now, this is the third question, and you have to read this question once again. Now here, notice this is asking select three methods. Which all three methods are correct here? And each correct answer presents a complete solution. Out of three, if you select only one correct, you get the marks for one correct answer. If you select all three, you get the full marks in this exam, in this question. So please read the question. I'll give you 2 minutes of time again to check the question and guess the answer. All right, so let's see what are the correct answers here. I'll select randomly three options here, and then I click on check answer. So you can see these are three correct answers here, and you can definitely, in this way, you can answer the questions. Now, let's go for the next one. Now here is again asking, select three actions that you should perform in this question. It means we have to select three different kind of answers here. This time I will make sure that at least I'll select one wrong answer. And there you see how this looks like when you give any answer wrong, how this will present, okay? So please read the question. Here I'm going to give you another 2 more minutes to read this information, read the question, and guess the answer. All right, so let's see what are the correct answers here in this question. Randomly, I will select 3 here. And let's see the answer. You can see how this presents if you are selecting a wrong answer. This presents, this is incorrect, and these are the correct answer. This one, and this one is correct. So in this way, you can read the explanation here, and you can see the links, reference link, if you want to explore more on this. So in this way, you can enhance your understanding and knowledge, and you'll be confident before going for the real exam. Let's try with some more questions here. I'll go for next. Now, this is something a bit complex because here we have lots of informations. So let's go for this. Read the question, guess the answer. And again, now this is complex at this level where you have to select 3 actions here. So please read the question, check the answer, guess 3 correct one, and I'll give you another, like, let's go for 3 minutes for this because it's a kind of lengthy question. So in 3 minutes, I will reveal the answer. All right, so I believe you are ready with your answers. Now let's see what are the correct answers here. Again, randomly, I will select 3 options here, and you can see. So here, this third one, fourth one, fifth one, and the first one is correct. So in this way, you have to be ready for the multiple choice questions as well. Now, in this case, because I'm selecting one answer wrong, I will be getting the marks for two correct answers. So by default, by chance, if there are 30 marks assigned for this question in a real exam, I'll get 20 marks because one answer is incorrect for me, like what I've selected here. And you can see the explanation here. In this way, we see different type of questions here in this. Let's go for some more questions here. Now here, you can see this is a kind of single choice question. You have to select only one option here. And generally, when you see there's a question that will be selecting or presenting you only one option, mostly this will have four options only. So read the question and guess the answer. I'll give you 2 minutes for this to think about, and then we will reveal the right answer. All right, so let's see what is the correct answer here. So let me select a random one here and check your answer. So if you are preparing SC300 learning, like you're using learning resources, and you are preparing for this one very well, you will have this kind of, you will develop this understanding that you'll be able to guess the right answer. Now, going for the next, that's a very simple question, and I'll give you 1 minute for this. Please check this and guess the right answer. All right, so let's see the answer. Let me select this one and check your answer. And you can see which is the correct answer here along with the explanation and the reference links that you can use. Generally, when you are going to create an app registration, this will generate application service principal in the backend automatically. Let's try with some more questions here. Now this one. I'll give you 2 minutes for this. Think about it, and then I'll reveal the answer. All right, so let's see the answer. So generally, if you talk about these kind of register any application, so the question is, you have to maximize security. So what you should use? So let me select a random one here, check your answer. Now, basically, if you are going to configure any kind of app registration and you are going to deploy any application, certificate-based authentication is always maximizing the security, not the token, not the application ID. So the right answer is using X.509 certificate. So whenever is going to compare which is the most secure way, certificate-based authentication method is more secure than any other options. And why? You have to go for seeing this information, the explanation here, and the links. Now let's try 2 more questions here till question number 10. Next. Again, test this question and guess the answer. All right, so let's see the answer. I'm going to select the random one, and you can guess the right answer. So if you are preparing well, definitely this will be helpful. This will be easy to answer the questions. Now let's see the last one here. Here I'm giving you 2 more minutes to think about, and yeah, then we see what is the right answer here in this. All right, so let's see what's the answer here. Let me select a random one here, and here you can see the right answer. So the explanation is always going to give you right information why this is not correct and why the answer is correct. That is highlighted in green color. So in this way, you can go for attempting these questions, and you can enhance your knowledge and understanding. Definitely, these all questions will boost your confidence once you complete all these. So that's all what we have in this today's session. We completed information about what kind of certification process overview we have, prepare for an exam, a skill measured, a skill outline, what comes in sandbox environment, what we have in certification poster, where we have some example videos, where we have practice assessment questions. These all things you can find here in one page, that is ST300 exam page. Official Microsoft page will give you all these informations and details here, along with MS Learn official online learning resource. So these all things you can see here. So that's all for all these 5 days of discussion. I appreciate your patience, your participation in this event, and I believe this is going to help you to understand SC300 in more detail, and you'll be seeing lots of activities and maybe different kind of processes that would be coming to your day-to-day work. So this is going to help you in that. And if you're planning for exam, for sure, this session is going to help you to prepare very well. So once again, thank you so much for joining this session, this event. Keep learning and have a nice rest of the day. Bye-bye.
Technology is moving fast. Closing the skills gap can help your team optimize and stay focused on what's ahead, rather than constantly playing tech catch-up. That's why it's important to keep Microsoft certifications active. Here's everything you need to know about renewing your team's certifications. We have introduced a free certification renewal process for role-based and specialty certifications to help you stay current with skills you need to remain up to date in your job role. Please note that the fundamentals certifications do not expire. In order to renew, you don't need to schedule and take an exam through Pearson VUE. Assessments are shorter than the exam. We encourage you to renew early, as soon as you are eligible. You won't lose time by renewing early, as the extension date is not based on the date that you choose to renew, but 1 year from certification expiration date. To access renewal assessment, you need to connect your certification profile to your Microsoft Learn profile only the first time. Once connected, you don't need to repeat this step in future to access renewal assessments. You can take the assessment as many times as you need. But after the second try, you will need to wait at least 24 hours before your next attempt. Embracing a growth mindset and the need for continuous learning can help you optimize and successfully perform in job roles. With a renewed Microsoft certification, globally recognized and industry-endorsed evidence of mastered real-world skills, you will also be able to demonstrate your proficiency in keeping pace with technology,